I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network, and this is a breaking news alert. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has just filed a proposed motion for a trial date in the new criminal case filed against Donald Trump plus 18 other co-defendants in Fulton County, Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis is requesting a March 4th, 2024 trial date. That places it right before the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal case on March 25th of 2024. This big motion by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis was filed just moments ago. I want to show you this motion that was filed, the request for this trial date, a request for other dates that will be relating to the trial date. And then let's talk about the other trials against Donald Trump, criminal cases, civil cases, and where this fits in that schedule. Then let's talk about some of the other developments as well in the new case where the Fulton County grand jury indicted Trump and 18 other co-defendants for crimes relating to the 2020 election, acting as a RICO or racketeering criminal enterprise as charged in the indictment. Here it is right here. Motion for entry of pretrial scheduling order. I don't want to bury the lead, so let's just go to the end of the order first so you can see when the trial date is being set. It is requesting a final pretrial conference to be held on February 20th, 2024. And it says here that the trial shall commence on March 4th, 2024. This is only a proposed order, so that is why it is blank, and it's for the signature of the judge, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee. This is a different judge than the judge who presided over the special purpose grand jury and then the grand jury. That was Judge Robert McBurney. McBurney's not presiding over the criminal case. Scott McAfee is. Scott McAfee, former assistant United States attorney, former official in the Inspector General's office, former prosecutor. He's only been a Fulton County Superior Court judge now for about 6 months, and he's been handed this very significant case to handle, but from his background, at least, seems like a law and order person, was a prosecutor who prosecuted fraud and serious crimes, and so we'll see how he ultimately presides over this matter. But you see right there, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis requesting a March 4th, 2024 trial date. As you go to the top of the motion, again, you see State of Georgia versus Donald Trump and Giuliani, Eastman, Meadows, Chesbrough, Clark, Jenna Ellis, who Giuliani farted on, Jenna, and she contracted COVID, Jenna Ellis, Ray Stalling Smith III, and all the other co-defendants who it is alleged in the indictment formed a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Here it is right here. Motion for entry of pretrial scheduling order comes now the state of Georgia by and through Fulton County District Attorney Fani T. Willis and requests this honorable court enter a pre-trial scheduling order governing the deadlines for this case, State of Georgia v. Donald J. Trump et al. In light of defendant Donald J. Trump's other criminal and civil matters pending in the courts of our sister sovereigns, and it lists in the footnote all of those other cases. The special counsel Jack Smith criminal indictment in Washington, D.C., the special counsel Jack Smith criminal indictment in the Southern District of Florida, the Manhattan District Attorney felony state criminal case against Donald Trump for hush money payments and misclassification of said hush money payments to a porn star in Manhattan State Court. That's all listed in the footnotes. It says, in light of defendant Donald J. Trump's other criminal and civil matters pending in the court and our sister sovereigns, the state of Georgia proposes certain deadlines that do not conflict with these other courts' already scheduled hearings and trial dates. Further, the proposed dates are requested so as to allow the defendant's needs to review discovery and prepare for trial, but also to protect the state of Georgia and the public's interest in prompt resolution of the charges for which the defendants have been indicted. The state attaches to this motion a proposed pretrial scheduling order for the court's consideration, containing the state's proposed deadlines and other relevant dates, respectively submitted the 16th day of August, 2023. We see the argument here very similar to what Special Counsel Jack Smith said. The right to a speedy trial is not just a right under the federal Constitution on the Sixth Amendment for the criminal defendant, but also for the public as well, for the interest of expeditiously carrying out justice, especially where you have a menace on the loose like Donald Trump continuing to commit crimes. And as we go through the scheduling order, it also suggests that the date of arraignment take place the week of September 5th, 2023. So there, I believe we'll have cameras in the courtroom in Georgia, state court, unlike the federal proceedings. Usually you will have cameras in these proceedings. So we'll see if that takes place, but that is where all of the criminal defendants, Donald Trump and other co-defendants, will show up. They will enter a plea of not guilty or guilty, and then there will also be a hearing then, assuming this date is adopted, for bail. And in Georgia, it is the requirement of the criminal defendant to affirmatively show why they are not a threat to witnesses, why they are not engaged in future crimes. They have to rebut a presumption that they would normally be in prison pending trial by showing that they're not a threat. It will certainly be interesting to see what Donald Trump's lawyers specifically argue when he continues to threaten the prosecutor, the judges, and key witnesses in the case. And also it says, the following proposed order shall govern this criminal case, absent express permission from the court. No exceptions, extensions, or waivers to the requirements set forth herein are allowed. The term defendant refers to each of the named defendants individually. Also, after the arraignment date, it says the clerk of Fulton County Superior Court shall mail to each defendant and his or her counsel, if applicable, notice of this date at least 5 days prior to this date, pursuant to Georgia law. And then it talks about discovery and reciprocal discovery. Then it talks about when motion hearings will take place. It talks about how particularized demurs, which are like motions to dismiss, those will be filed within 10 days of the arraignment in accordance with Georgia law. Particularized motions and notices, including but not limited to motions to suppress, notice of evidence of other crimes, wrongs, or acts, shall be filed on or before October 31st, 2023. Hearing for motions filed by October 31 shall commence on December 11th, 2023, and continue until completion. Generalized and omnibus motions will not be considered by the court. All motions shall specify with particularity the item, statement, and or event at issue. Thus, for example, a motion to suppress any statements is insufficient. The motion must identify the specific statement the movement is seeking to suppress, as well as the theory of suppression. That's kind of standard Georgia law. All motions eliminate motions to exclude shall be filed 5 days prior to the call of trial. And then you have your final pretrial conference, February 20th, 2024. The trial shall commence March 4th of 2024. It is blank because this is only a proposed order. Donald Trump's lawyers and the lawyers for the other co-defendants will now submit likely oppositions to this schedule. And then eventually Scott McAfee, the Fulton County Superior Court judge who's presiding over this matter, will be making the ruling about what the trial date is. All right, let's talk about the other trial dates that are taking place. So on October of 2024, specifically October 2nd of 2024, we have New York Attorney General Letitia James' civil fraud lawsuit. Then you go into January of 2024. That's when special counsel Jack Smith is requesting that the criminal case against Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. for Trump's crimes relating to the 2020 election and the insurrection, that federal case be tried in January of 2024, actually the first week of January 2024. Also scheduled for January 2024 is E. Jean Carroll's additional defamation lawsuit, civil case, as well as another class action against Donald Trump for engaging in a multi-level marketing scheme, a big class action, multi-million-dollar class action. You move to March. This then gets slotted in. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis wants this to be slotted in March 4th of 2024. That would proceed by a few weeks. The Manhattan District Attorney criminal case, which is scheduled for March 25th of 2024. And then shortly thereafter in May of 2024, that's when the Southern District of Florida federal case against Donald Trump for criminal willful retention of national defense information as theft of classified and top secret and other national defense records. That case is pending before Judge Eileen Cannon in the Southern District of Florida. That's scheduled right now for May of 2024. The ultimate irony is that the games that Judge Eileen Cannon has already been playing, she's now at the end of the line of cases because of the games that she's playing. Ultimately, we'll see if Scott McAfee will set this trial date as requested on March 4th of 2024. But Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis stated that she was going to move for a trial date within 6 months. She stated at the press conference that's exactly what she's doing here. Now, other things that may cause delay, you've got Mark Meadows, former chief of staff to Donald Trump, filed a removal proceeding that got removed to federal court. There now has to be motions about remanding that case back to state court. That could cause some delay as well. That case got assigned District Court Judge Steve Jones, actually an Obama appointee in the federal court for the Northern District of Georgia, a law and order, no-nonsense judge. Even if that case were to proceed before Judge Jones and not get remanded, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. He's a no-nonsense law and order judge. I expect Donald Trump will also file a removal action as well, and potentially now that gets joined with Judge Jones. So a good draw there by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis of a law and order, no-nonsense judge. So we'll see what happens on the removal proceedings if that gets remanded back to state court, but that could cause some delay in the process. But when Donald Trump attempted to do that in New York, remember he removed the Manhattan District Attorney case to New York, there Judge Alvin Hellerstein, the federal judge, communicated with the state court and said, don't delay your proceedings while I am ruling over or making the ruling over the removal. That is possible what Judge Jones is going to do here. But some new names being introduced, right? Federal Judge Steve C. Jones from the Northern District of Georgia, who is now presiding in the federal court over the Mark Meadows removal, and likely that will be related to a future Trump removal. And now you have Scott McAfee, Fulton County Superior Court judge, former prosecutor, former worker, worked in the Inspector General's, prosecuted fraud and major, serious crimes. So we'll see how ultimately he starts ruling, and we'll start learning more about these individuals as well. But the big headline here, of course, Fulton County District Attorney requesting trial date March 4th of 2024 in the RICO racketeering case brought against Trump and 18 co-defendants. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Also, check out our new website, MeidasTouch.com, for all the breaking news. That's MeidasTouch.com. Have a great day. Ben Meiselas here. I want to tell you about my best friend growing up as a kid. His name is David Sorokin. We were inseparable growing up. Here, check out the photos of us. I knew David Sorokin was going to grow up to do great things, and that he did. And I want to tell you how David Sorokin can help you out. You see, David Sorokin is a partner at the renowned plaintiff's law firm called the Morelli Law Firm, one of the top personal injury law firms in the entire country, with a specialty in truck accidents, construction accidents, and cases where a victim has suffered a traumatic brain injury. Morelli Law Firm has obtained billions of dollars in recoveries all across the country for its clients and their families. The Morelli Law Firm recently received a jury verdict of more than $100 million for a single plaintiff who suffered a traumatic brain injury as a result of a construction accident, setting the New York State record for the largest pain and suffering verdict ever in a traumatic brain injury case. The Morelli firm has represented actor-comedian Tracy Morgan in his famous truck accident case against Walmart. The Morelli firm takes cases that are 7, 8, and 9 figures to jury verdict. So if you or anyone in your family has been injured as a result of someone else's negligence, call the attorneys at the Morelli Law Firm today. The phone number is 516-447-8233. That's 516-447-8233. You can also check out their website at morellilaw.com/Meidas. That's MORELLILAW.com/Meidas. Again, it's MORELLILAW.com/Meidas. And as I've kind of phased out being a litigator and I've been focusing more on the MeidasTouch network, I want to make sure that you are all in good hands if you or someone you know has been a victim of someone else's negligence. So reach out to the Morelli firm. They're a law firm that I trust a lot, and I know they'll take very good care of you all. That's morellilaw.com/Meidas, and you can say that Ben Meiselas sent you. Have a great one.